Hello and welcome to Squabble, a noisy quarrel about something petty or trivial. I'm Carter.
And I'm Jacob.
And it's announcement time.
We got a few.
A few? I would say two.
Okay, well that is the number. You wouldn't say it. It's
Because
just...
I would argue, okay, two. Oh, no, I'm stupid. Three is a few. Three or more is a few, and a couple is two.
Okay, yeah, no, few is three, I think. Typically, it can mean more, though.
Yeah. Anyway, if you've seen it, hopefully, yesterday a trailer dropped. Okay.
What?
For a new series that we're starting, or that we're gonna try.
Starring your favorite intern.
Yeah, starring your favorite intern, Daniel, the intern, the one and only intern. Driving with Daniel. It's a new show we're trying to start.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, there's gonna be some good stuff in there. Go watch the trailer. It's a quality trailer, I think.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
And then another thing that we were working on here
is Rap Battle Part 2.
Oh, Part 2.
I said Part 2.
I just said Rap Battle 2.
Rap Battle 2.
Yeah, Rap Battle. We did a Rap Battle episode in the past, and it's our most watched and most listened to.
Is it really?
Episode. It is.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I think there's one that is like just
It's our.
a little
I think
bit.
it's our esports one because that's like a hot
Yeah,
topic.
the esports one is that our most.
We might revisit that one
our
someday
most
too.
popular,
Who knows?
and then Rap Battle. But the Rap Battle one, see, like the esports one, gradually got a lot of traction. But the Rap Battle, as soon as we dropped it, jumped up to second place almost instantly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that one was really quick, a lot faster than the esports one. So
True.
I think Rap Battle 2 can only get better.
I agree. I'm already worked on mine, and it's already fire.
I haven't even. I've started mine a little bit. I've started writing some lyrics, but I'm not really sure the direction I want to go yet. Jacob's though, Jacob is far along. So
I'm about like I'd say like I'm a 20% through.
And I'm not going to give you a time frame when this will come out. Okay, who knows?
Because you want it to be good, right? You don't want us to have to be struggling to fit some schedule.
Yeah, exactly. We're putting in time into this, so we don't want to give
Heck,
you.
I might, since I'm so far ahead of Carter, I might even film a music video if I've got the time.
Honestly, we wanted to do that last time actually, but we didn't think
So
we
who
had
knows?
time.
We'll see.
So, today, done with announcements. End. Cut off. Unless Jacob, you wanted to like give them a little sample, maybe like drop one verse from
One burn?
just like one rhyme.
Oh,
I can give you a beat if you want.
okay. Well, let me
Just like
find.
a-
Yeah, I'll do
like
it.
a
I'll
little-
give a.
Really? Okay.
Let me find.
Find one that's like one that's good, a little teaser.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know the tempo that you were going for.
Yeah. Okay. No one knows who you are, and I am the king. I'm like Google. You're like Bing.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty funny, right? Yeah. That's one of my good lines, and now I just wasted it because you did it a little slow too.
I'm
a little
sorry.
bit, just a little bit.
But it was close.
And I didn't get I didn't get my tone right because I didn't hear the song, but it's good. It's fine. It's whatever. It's the lyrics that matter.
The bars.
They leave them wanting more.
Yep.
Yeah. They want to know how that comes into the song.
I am sporting today a Mountain Dew Kickstart, not a Mountain Dew.
Not a sponsor.
It's not a
Is what I thought
sponsor
you were
either. It's not an actual. Jacob was drinking an actual Mountain Dew, but I went with a Kickstart.
Been a hot
I need
second.
to stay up. This one's the mango lime, and it is good. Not a sponsor though, but we will. You can.
If you
sponsor
want
us.
to, Mountain Dew, we'll gladly accept.
Gladly, we will be the face.
Then
of
we
the
will
Dew.
definitely film
I'll
high
be Mountain,
quality.
He'll be Dew.
We'll definitely film high quality. Let me put this. I will promise you all this. If Mountain Dew sponsors us, we will film high quality music videos for our rap battles because we'll have the budget. They'll give us money. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
well, that's how. Or free dues. Either one.
Yeah. Either one. Yeah, we don't even need the money. Just we'll work for dues.
That's true. But then we won't film the rap battles.
Right.
Sorry.
But today is an episode. A lot has been going on in our lives. I think
That voice crack. Did you hear that?
that was a voice crack, but you didn't even say
I sounded like
anything.
Yoda.
We have had busy days.
That's a terrible Yoda
Days
impression.
we have had busy. No, that
Why
was,
does he have to talk like that?
that is how he talks.
He talks lower. I can decide to do one for a
Talks
second,
like
but
this. Wait.
no, he
wait.
doesn't.
The force is with you. With you is the force.
That's better. There you go.
The younglings you killed. I don't know. I need to hear him. It's been a while.
Do or do not, there is no try. That's what you were trying.
Do or do not. There is no try.
It's getting there. This
Yeah, I
isn't
need some
voice
practice.
impressions part two.
No,
though.
no, no. we got some stories. Okay, this is
September.
this
No,
is
August stories.
but in September.
Yeah, I mean, well, we got all the way through August, so
Right, we
therefore
got all the way through August.
we tell
Now
the stories then.
August stories, not to be confused with September stories that
No.
will come later.
Yes,
And we have some stories.
we do
Let
have
me
some
tell you.
stories.
Who wants to start?
I can. You start with a little bit because you've got like more separation in your stories. Mine's kind of one big long story.
That's
So
fair.
you start. You bookmark the stories. We'll say that. So you can
Got
go
it.
ahead and start.
Okay. I recently got a new job, which I was really excited about, which I'm not going to say anything
Okay.
other than that. I think it's safe to just say I got a new job, and you can kind of guess what I'm doing. I think it's more fun like that.
What does that mean? Okay, if I'll do that too. It won't be nearly as exciting if I do it, but
No, I
'cause
mean,
I also got a job.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I mean, like,
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you like, where I work.
oh, okay,
Is what I'm trying to say.
that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like you were going to say what your occupation was. I
No,
was
no,
like,
I'll say what my occupation is. I am a.
use
I'm
the
a
technical
cameraman.
term. Oh,
The technical term.
yeah.
I
Like, what's your title?
my title.
Isn't your title like photographer?
Yeah, my
But you're
title
not.
is
You don't take
photographer.
pictures.
My title is photographer, but I am a cameraman.
He videos. He
I
doesn't even
video
take pictures.
And I edit for
The
TV,
news.
The news. I'm a news photographer. That's my official
But
title.
it's kind of a silly name, isn't it?
It is a silly name.
I guess video is just a bunch of pictures at once, like in a row.
You're right. Well, like everybody that I work with, and my boss, he told me this when I was hired. He said the term news photographer super outdated, but it's just been like held up for so long that like they're not going to change it. But
That's
he
fair, 'cause
said
who
like,
wants to be the first person to do that?
right, but like he also said like it really undersells what we do because
Mm-hmm.
like news photographer. First of all, we don't even take pictures. Second of all, we don't just do video either. We like conduct our own interviews and
Yeah.
like we edit. We do like all this stuff.
Mhm.
He said that like I think what he said is he calls himself a video journalist. I think is what he called himself,
That's actually pretty accurate.
which is fair.
That's
but
a cool title too.
it is a cool title.
Yes, I'm a video journalist. Actually,
But it has been.
my title's cooler than yours though.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Oh, you were gonna wait. You don't want to drop your
Oh
title.
yeah, sure. I'm called a. I'm a bookseller.
That actually is.
Yeah.
That actually is really.
I'll tell you right now. I got the job. I'm work at Barnes and Noble. And did you know that this is their thing? There is everybody's called a bookseller, from the janitor to the CEO. They're all booksellers.
Really.
It's kind of like how Disney is all called cast members.
Yeah.
They're called booksellers
I mean that makes sense because.
because
Like,
they're
that's
like
their
at the core of all
central
of our
purpose.
Yeah, they're like
Right.
at the core of everything we do. Whether you're running the business like financially or actually literally selling the books, we're all selling books. That's what we do. And I was like, okay.
I respect that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, I have some stories from my couple
Okay.
weeks of my new job.
Yeah, you've
here.
only been there. We've both only been there for like what, 2-3 weeks?
I have been there for 2 weeks.
I've been there
little
for
over,
almost.
I think, and it is. I already have some stories. Okay, things happen when you work for the news, which makes sense because it's
Well, that's
the news. That's what
yes,
right. That's the
the
job.
premise.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess I kind of thought that I would have some sort of like more time to prepare for said crazy events.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's kind of a pick it up like it, which I like. I learn from doing stuff more
Yeah.
and more. That's how I I kind of learn best when I try to figure it out myself. So the fact that the fact that I just had to get up and go is good for me.
Yes.
I think. But first day on the job, okay. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell this either.
Me
but
too. I'm trying to decide what I can tell. I think I can tell. It's whatever. It's fine.
First day on the job, I got to go behind the scenes. If you've ever heard of the Blue Men Group, they're pretty popular. But although everyone I've told is like, who's that?
I knew.
But like,
I
we're in
love
Arkansas,
them.
so
They're awesome.
yeah, the Blue Men Group is awesome. They're a musical, like percussion kind of special effects.
They're really weird.
Entertaining
There's
group.
There's not really a good way to describe
Very
them.
hard to describe what they do, but
They're artists.
they're artists. They're go look them up. They're hilarious. I love everything they do.
Yeah, they're cool,
It's
funny,
really cool.
serious, sad. They're everything.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
a whole story.
They are. Anyway, I got to go behind the scenes of a Blue Man show, and I was besides the crew, I was one of the first people to ever see the set, which was very interesting. That was day one. I
You
was
didn't
on
get to see the
training.
show though, right?
I didn't get to see the show.
You got to see parts of what they did though, right?
Yeah, they sent us clips, but I was just I was just I was shadowing basically that day, but still, I got to see all that. That was very cool. I didn't get to meet the Blue Men, unfortunately, but I did get to meet the director and
Was
the
he
technical director. Nobody else was blue.
Oh,
I got to meet the.
were they any other interesting colors?
No, they were all just regular, normal skin colors. Yeah.
That's fair.
Um,
What's normal, huh, Carter? No, just kidding.
anything that's not blue.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, they were all really cool and interesting, and I mean, I didn't get to like talk to him very much. I just watched other people talk to him because I was just shadowing. But it was awesome. It was really neat.
That is pretty cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. And,
I was a little jealous.
I've worked with like sound equipment like my whole life, basically. And there's like certain you see a box.
You looked over at our sound equipment when you said that.
I did like. Well, when you see like a box like this, you're like, it's sound equipment. There's like there's a certain box that sound equipment is in, and it's just facts. Like,
It's not like a cardboard box for people like
no, it's like this metal
It's like a
black
container,
protective. Yeah, and then it's like this is like nationwide. Okay, if this box is like if you see this box, it's got some sort of technical equipment in there, but their boxes look the exact same, but they're blue.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
and so
fantastic.
it was awesome. But I guess that's story number one for me.
Okay.
Or section number one.
Nice.
If you want to.
Okay, I'll jump in. So I got a part-time job at Barnes and Noble. I basically I was looking for work. I applied everywhere, and Barnes and Noble was the one that called me back. No, I'm just kidding. I was glad to work. I'm glad that's the place to call me back because they're classy. I didn't want to work at like fast
It's
food.
classy.
Nothing against you if you work at fast food. Some of my best friends work in fast food. It's just like I don't know. I feel like I've heard rough things.
It's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for me. I've heard rough things.
Like I love Chick-fil-A with
Me too.
all my heart, but
And some
I
T-bell
couldn't-
can
I
be
couldn't work
a
there.
good thing.
I'm not a good enough man to work at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You know,
You have to be holy.
you do have to be holy. You got
But-
to put in work.
Well, that's okay. I thought to work at Barnes and Noble you had to be smart, but here I am. No. So basically, I got an interview, right? And one of the first questions they asked me was, "How would you solve a conflict between two arguing coworkers?" And I was just like, "Arguing, you say?" And I'm not ashamed to say that I did talk about squabble in my job interview. But they asked about previous work experiences, and I consider this a job.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a great
well of course.
yeah.
What's a job? It's something you
Exactly.
do regularly and get paid for.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
not that our pay
we
is a
don't really
lot.
get paid.
I mean,
But-
it all goes back into Squabble, but
That's true.
you are Squabble, Jacob.
Well, I'd say we're more of a non-profit organization, if anything.
Squabble is making a profit
True,
to
Squabble
then
is.
buy better stuff to make Squabble better.
Exactly.
So,
Anyways,
and thank you for everyone who's
True.
donated.
Thank you.
And I would like to take this opportunity to plug, sorry, Jacob, our Patreon.
no, I'm glad.
Patreon.com/Squabble Studios.
Mm.
It's a hot page. We're like, for instance, this trailer that we talked about earlier, Patreon's got to see it first. In fact, a
What?
special clip from Driving with Daniel was posted on Patreon.
You already
Like,
basically seen it.
exclusive.
Maybe I'll post some of my beat, some of my
Ooh,
track
yeah, you should post
on
what you have so
Patreon.
far on Patreon.
I will.
So
for my diss track. Yeah, so
anyway,
you're missing out, y'all.
and that money, okay, it doesn't just go into our pockets.
Yeah,
it
we're
goes
not
straight
just-
back into
it does.
Squabble, so we can make this better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Anyways, so they were like, "How'd you solve a conflict between two arguing coworkers?" And I was like, "Oh, well, you see, one time, in me and my brother's podcast, which has over 500 subscribers on iTunes, we were arguing, as we do. That's the premise of the podcast.
Yeah.
And I told him about the story when we actually got mad at each other, the one time we ever did, and how he resolved it, and how he learned from it, and how that hasn't happened since.
Definitely learned from that.
And she was like, "Wow, that's so nice. That's great." I will say this one thing about a job. Now that I've gotten a job, as not even as a kid, like literally up until I got this job, like I don't know, like I've just always thought this. I was like, why wouldn't you try to find a place that is never busy? Because then you don't have to do anything for work, right? And that's what I thought. I was like, yeah, you just want someone that's never busy. But now I've realized that is so the opposite of what the truth is, because time goes by so slowly when you're not doing anything. So like I am sitting there hoping that somebody will ask me where a book is at Barnes & Noble, or I'll go up to them and I'll be like, "Can I help you find something?" And I'm like, "Please say yes, please say yes, please say yes." And then they'll be like, "No." And then they'll leave. And the thing I was telling my coworker today that is annoying that people do is when you ask somebody, can I help you find something? They always try to give some sort of excuse as to why, like they feel like they're gonna hurt my feelings. They'll be like, oh no, like this one guy asked, he tried to go on for a long time. It's not like he was trying to like make conversation or be friendly. He was like literally like trying to make an excuse as to why he didn't need my help. I was like, can I help you find something today? He was like, oh no, my family's like checking out at they're checking out right now, and I'm just like killing time waiting for them to be over. As he was like walking away, still like trying to explain, and I was like, dude, it's fine.
It's cool,
Just
man.
say no.
Just say
Yeah,
no.
I didn't tell him that, but I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's all right. Just say no. And same with when we're email. For some reason, our manager says we were like, you have to ask people when you check them out for their email address. Like you have to. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's
And
a big
so
thing in retail.
that's the other thing. I was like, can we get your email? And they were like, they'll be like, oh no, my email is blah blah, blah. And they'll like try to come up with an excuse. I'm like, listen, I don't care, like I'm just asking you this because I have to.
Yeah. No, that's fair. When I
And it's not annoying. It's just funny. You never really realize that people do that.
when I worked at Vintage Stock, speaking of which, I literally got a text 3 minutes ago. They haven't taken me off the work group chat yet. I've been gone for like almost a month now.
Oof.
But it's funny.
Now you know when your friends are working.
Yeah, I do know when they're working. So I don't think I'm supposed to have this inside scoop that I have, but I do. Maybe I should. You do
It's a
something
hidden
with
power.
this information. But yeah, when I worked there, it was always like, would you like to make a customer account? And not that I cared if they ever made one. Like, in fact, I would rather them not make one because I can check them out faster.
True.
So I was like, do you want to make a customer account? And then they would say, no, man, and I'm like, did you just say no?
That's all I need.
And like, as soon as they do that, like, they make this face. As soon as you say it, they make a face, and you can tell instantly if they are actually going to make an account.
Oh,
or
yeah.
not. And so like, I'll almost always just skip it, even before their answer, because like I can see on their face that they're going to say no.
Like on the screen, yeah. It's like, do they want one? You just click no.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I give them a hot second because surprisingly, the other surprising thing is when I first started working at Barnes & Noble, I was like, who reads physical books anymore? Maybe I shouldn't be saying this because I work at a Barnes & Noble, but I was like, why would you read physical? I get some books because it's like a thing to have like the physical one and it's nicer, but like some people get some books and I'm like, you could have gotten this online for much cheaper, but still come to Barnes & Noble, everybody. Come on. I'm working for them. I got to say that. But like most books, you could get online and for a better price and it would be the same experience.
No. I mean, I think that goes for almost any retail store. It's like even when I worked at Vintage Stock, it's like people would buy stuff all the time, and I recommended stuff sometimes. Sometimes people would be buying something and they're like, "Do you have like one more of these?" And I'm like, "No, but let me tell you something, man. If you just go on Amazon, you can get an unlimited amount of these for cheaper than you're buying them right now."
Exactly.
I would tell people that all the time. They're like, hey, thanks, man. And then they would like either just buy one from us to and like say, "I'm gonna buy the rest online." I'm like, "Thanks, dude. I'm saving you money."
Yeah. Well, I've got one more story that I'll let you finish. You do some more of yours, but or I can do all of mine. Either way. Anyways, we go back and forth. So
Exactly.
the one time I don't want people to approach me asking me for things is when they're on the phone. This one time, this lady called and she was like, will you guys see if you have this book? I was like, sure, whatever. Thought that would be the end of that.
Wait, she called you and you were on the phone with
Yes.
her? Okay.
Yeah, she called the store. She didn't call me personally. She called the store and I was like, hi, this is Barnes & Noble Rogers. What can I do for you? And so she was like, do you have this book? So I looked up the book and I was like, yeah, we have this book. Do you want it to would you want us to put it on hold or do you want us to like ship it to you? And she was like, yeah, if you guys can like ship it to me, that'd be great. I was like, sure. But her connection was very bad. So I couldn't hear what she was saying. So we get to the part where she has to put in like the ginormous credit card number, like the really long, like the 8 digits or whatever. It's more than that. I don't know how many digits it is. I should probably know. But I was like on the phone and she was like, okay, here's the numbers. So I'm not going to say the numbers. I don't actually know them, so they'd be wrong anyways. So I put the numbers in and I was waiting for her to keep going. And I realized we're 4 digits short. Like she didn't, but that's all the numbers she said. So I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm going to have to ask you to do that one more time. So I exit out, restart, and I do it really carefully, really slowly. We get done, and now there's 2 digits missing. So she added 2 somewhere. I was like, whoa. She starts like trying to tell me the expiration date, the rest of the information I need. I was like, hold up. Can I get it one more time? So I do it one more time. Still wrong. 2 digits are still missing. So I was like, we're having some technical difficulties. Can I put you on hold for a second? So I put her on hold, and I'm like, manager, I have no idea what this lady's saying. And she was like, let me talk to her. So the manager was like, man, I feel bad asking her to say it again. So she puts her out of hold, and one more time she's like, I hate to do this to you, but can you tell us those numbers one more time? And then she put them in and it finally worked. So I don't even know if I'm an idiot and the manager could actually hear or if that lady was crazy
I'll confess something.
or what. But
When I worked at Vinstock, the phones were very, very bad quality. Like they were really
Mm-hmm.
like the service. I guess I don't know. The connection was always really bad. Sometimes, like when that would happen, and I've asked several times, or like they're trying to explain what this TV show is to me, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I have absolutely no idea what they're saying. They'll be like, "In what blah blah," and I'm like, "Wait, what show is it?" And she's like, "In blah blah blah, season 3." And I'm like, "Season 3 of what?" They're like, "I think so." And I'm like, "Will you spell it for me?" And they're like, "N Y depla," and I'm
yeah, yep.
so sometimes after like several times, if I can't understand what they're saying, I'll hang up.
What? Like, will you say I'm hanging up?
No, I'll just hang up, and then they'll call back a couple minutes later, and I'll be like, our connection must have got disconnected, but then it'll sound better. Like
Weird.
after you like hang up and like they'll call back, it'll sound better. So sometimes I just hang up and just sometimes they don't even call back, and then but when they do or if they do, it sounds better.
And you just go, oh, sorry, yeah,
Or
connection
like I
lost.
just wait till like one of my other coworkers answers it because I'm like that's the same person, I know it. So,
Ooh.
but hey man.
So okay, that's fair.
Anyway, so another thing that happened at my new job here, being a cameraman for the news for TV,
The TIV,
is when
you know.
you got to go to those intense breaking news stories. I actually think I'll save that one for last. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
that's exciting. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one's pretty exciting too. Boy, someone ran their car into Brahms.
Yeah, that was my bad.
Someone
it was a
legit
wild night.
drove their car into a Brahms. I walk into work. Okay?
Like through the front door, at least.
No, like just
Through the
freaking
wall.
side of the building.
Is it the one by us?
No.
Oh.
It's like far. But I walk in like I'm like 2 minutes early, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get put my stuff, like put my.
Oh,
lunch
you
in
were
the
there when they
fridge.
ran in?
No, not I didn't get to Brahms.
Oh, okay.
I don't work at Brahms.
No, I know. Okay, never mind.
I said I got to work like a couple minutes early, and I'm putting my stuff away, whatever. And they're like, somebody turns around the corner and goes, "We need you to go to Brahms right now." Someone drove their car into Brahms, and I'm like, "Okay." So I get in the car and I go to Brahms. And
Did you drive?
Yes, I drove to Brahms.
You went by
but not
yourself?
in Brahms, yeah,
But who talked?
me. Well, it was
Mate.
actually excuse me, by the way. I'm really kind of under the weather right now. Allergies are kicking my behind, and I'm having to blow my
That's
nose.
why you
a
sound
lot.
nasally.
And yeah, so, excuse me. But what was I saying? Yeah, I get to the Bronx. Yeah, I do stuff by myself sometimes, where they send me out by myself.
Do you have to like record your voice talking about what happened?
No.
Oh.
If I have to do an interview, I just hold the mic or put the mic on them, and I just ask the questions, and then they answer. And
Do you have to come up with the questions?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
What kind of questions do you ask?
it just depends on what it is.
Well, what questions did you ask about the Brahms car?
The Brahms guy.
Did you
I
talk
was
to the
like-
guy who drove into the?
No, he
Oh.
wasn't there. It was just a police officer, or I think he was the chief of the fire department. I was like, so what happened here? And he's like, oh yes, looks like somebody drove into a Brahms. I was like, oh, you don't say.
And they made a literal drive-through.
Yeah, he missed the drive-through, and then I was like, "Oh, was it a drunk driver?" Because that was my question. He said, "No, we don't think so. It's just a student driver." And at that point, I was like, "What? Is he stupid?
Is he that bad?
What do you mean student
What was your
driver?
next? What's your follow-up question to that?
My follow-up question to that I think was, let's see.
Is he all right?
Yeah,
Is
I think
anybody
it
injured?
is were
Was
there any
anybody in?
injuries? And he was like, "No, everyone's fine." I was like, "Okay." And then I think I said, "Will the Brahms remain open?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're saying that they're gonna stay open." So
With a
Brahms-
gaping hole in the wall?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't like you could. If I tried to get into the Brahms through the hole, I probably couldn't.
Oh.
But like it was still a hole.
It wasn't like the car, like the front half of the car was inside of the Brahms. That's what I was picturing.
I mean,
Then how would you have been able to fit? I
What?
mean, if you couldn't fit through a hole that big, how fat
like,
are you?
think about this. So it's like the wall is like thick, man. So like
That's true.
the whole like there's still a huge indention, but like
That's
it didn't
true.
like bust out.
The only
other
part
side.
that actually went through the other side was a small
just
hole.
more wall.
Okay.
Just more wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that's it. And then and then I'm sitting there in the parking lot, right, editing the video in my car, and another news station drives up, parks next to me, gets out, looks around, comes back to the window, knocks on the window. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And they're like, what, was there a crime scene here or something? And I'm like, yeah, someone drove into the Brahms. And she looks around and finally sees the hole in the Brahms and goes, oh, thanks. And
Did they do a story on it?
yes, I guess. She took pictures or whatever. So it's funny. Someone drove into a Brahms. I find that hilarious.
They really needed a burger.
And they were not drunk. Apparently, it was just a
They were really hungry.
driver.
He was really
Maybe
hungry. I don't blame him.
He didn't know how to use the brakes. He's so new driving. I don't know. Like, come on, you ran into a Brahms you ran into the Brahms so hard that you made a hole in it, and you think the reason is just because you're bad at driving. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a little dumb. You want to hear my tote bag story?
Yeah, hit me with that tote bag story.
I've told Carter the tote bag story. I haven't told the viewers the tote bag story. Basically, at Barnes & Noble, we were doing this thing called book haul, and there's a few things going on. I started working literally the day of book haul. This is my second day ever working here. It was the second weekend of book haul. I think it ran for like 3 weekends or something. I don't really know the details. Anyways, I show up in book haul. Basically, you can like buy 2 books, get a third, or buy 3 books, and then you get some for free, or like buy 2, get 1 free. I don't know. You get some sort of free books and discounts, that kind of thing. One of the specialties, the offers was if you buy 3 books, you get a tote bag, a free tote bag. And they weren't special tote bags. They were like normal, just like, I think they had like the logo on it, and that was it. They're just tote bags. And so first thing that happens is this one lady, early in the morning, I was working cashiering. My first day, I was being trained. And someone asked for a tote bag, and the girl that was training me comes up. She says, hey, we're actually out of tote bags. I was like, okay, good enough. So I told the person, hey, we're out of tote bags. She left. She was like, oh, no big deal. So then I asked her, I was like, so we're just out of the tote bags, so if somebody asks, I shouldn't give it to them? She was like, yeah, we don't have any. We ran out like the first weekend. Everybody wanted the tote bags. They were a big deal.
Popular tote bags.
Yeah, so all day, people were asking about the tote bags. Every time someone shopped, they'd be like, do you guys have any of the tote bags left? I'd be like, no, we're out of the tote bags. And they'd be completely understanding. They'd be like, right, no more tote bags, no problem. And they'd leave. Except one lady, right? So she gets there, lots of books, like $120 worth of books. Like 8 books or something. Nah, probably a little bit less than that. I don't know. It was a lot of books. And she checks out. I get the usual question I'm used to hearing. She says, so do you guys have the tote bags for like the members, the Barnes? Because they were only for Barnes & Noble members. And I was like, it was just normal. I wasn't phased yet. I was like, yeah, we're at it. We ran out of the tote bags. She was like, I'm making a face right now. She was like offended. She like looked at me. And I was like, yeah, everybody liked them. They were like a big deal. Haha. So they ran out really quickly. And she was like, well, they should change the signs. And I was like, excuse me? Like the signs we have, and like they're like big signs, it's not like something you can just take out, like a little sign. Like they're big signs. And she was like, you should change the signs. And also the signs don't say like free tote bag. It just says book haul. And then down at the bottom, it's like free tote bag with the purchase of, like it's the fine print. And she's like, you guys need to change the signs. And I was like, yeah, I guess so. You know, I wasn't really paying attention. I don't care about the tote bags. I was like, yeah, I guess so. She was like, I know there's nothing you can do about it, but like, I know there's nothing you can do about it, but your manager needs to come and like do that. Or she was like, or they need to tell you like as soon as you walk in that there's no more tote bags. And I was like, what, you think someone should be standing there with a sign that says no more tote bags? So anyways, there's some tote bags that are for sale, like nicer ones behind us, like behind the cash registers and like on display. And she stops for a second. She goes, how much are those tote bags behind you? And I was like, okay, she's just going to buy a tote bag instead. So I look at them, and I look at the price tag, I'm like, $8. And she's like, they should give those out for free instead to make up for it. And I was like, I guess so. Okay. And then she stops, and she looks down at the book she was like, that I had already rung up, and she was like, and I was like, so did you want to like not get some of the books now? And she was like, no, I guess I'm going to get them still. She was like, but they really need to tell you about the tote bags because she was like, that's false advertising. Nobody going to get their tote bags. And I was like, yep. So I just rung her up and gave her book's. And she was like still talking about the tote bag to her husband as they were leaving the store. Like she had her heart set on a free tote bag. And that's the story of the lady, the first time that the customer was angry at me. Or they weren't. She was a little understanding. She was like, I know there's nothing you can do about it, but your manager needs to. I was like, sure. It's just a free tote bag. It's not like the event was buy 3 books, get a tote bag for free. The event was just like discount on books, and that was like a special thing. So yeah. She was silly.
She's a Karen.
I would understand. She was a Karen. I would understand if it was like the whole thing was just the free tote bags. but like, come on, come on.
Yeah.
What?
Oops. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. My story's a little ridiculous too. The other day, I had to go to a hostage situation / active shooting, which was intense.
Yeah, that's.
It
It's
actually,
just that's very comparable to my story.
yeah, it is. It's crazy. Both are crazy. So I'm there, and like, it's at this apartment complex. Okay, yeah, it's just in an apartment complex, and one of the like apartment buildings, some guys in there. He'd like been, I don't know, arrested before, but now he's got like this girl hostage in this apartment, and there were kids in there too, but he let them out. Thanks, man.
Well, okay, don't thank the active shooter, the ex-prisoner
Let the
active
kids
shooter.
out. What do you mean? Thanks. But honestly, that the story pretty much consists of that. Nothing like I wasn't
no one
able
shot?
to get super close. No one was shot. Like I wasn't able to get super close, so like that's pretty much the extent of the story. I was just like standing 100 yards away with a camera zoomed in as close as I could. Later on, we got kicked off the property. The apartment complex was like, "Don't record here, get out." So we had to like walk around back and stand like as close to the fence as we could and record, all the audio that was going on because they had like megaphones and they were like,
You guys did?
no, the police
Oh.
and the SWAT. The SWAT was there. It was awesome. They were like, "Sir, you need to. We sent in a robot who's holding a phone." Yeah, they sent in a robot that holds a phone.
That's actually really cool. It's
It
like out of
was
the
very-
movies.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like the movies. That was crazy. He was
Dang.
like, "We sent in a robot. He's holding a phone. Take the phone. We just want to talk to you." It was just like in the movies, dude. It
What
was
did he
crazy.
want?
I don't think he ever picked up the phone because after several times of him saying, "Just pick up the phone. Your mom's out here. She wants to talk to you. We got your brother out
Dang.
here. He wants to talk to you. If you just pick up the phone," he never picked up the phone. So instead,
What'd they
they
do?
just shot gas in there, like
Oh.
huge, like these canisters of gas
Yikes.
into the windows, and after like an hour, they like 6 canisters, I'm pretty sure. And after like an hour, he still didn't come out. I don't know how he was like doing okay in there, but
What about
then
the girl?
I mean, it's not like deadly gas. It was just like to, I don't know. I think it was
Make
I'm
him
not-
uncomfortable?
Yeah, I'm not sure 100% sure what kind of gas they use, but I think it's just like I'm not 100% sure honestly what kind of. I know it's not like lethal or anything, or doesn't like hurt them, but then they were like, "Okay, you haven't come out. We're gonna have to open that door."
Oh,
And so they put explosives on the door, blew up the door.
nice. Did
Yeah.
you see that?
I didn't get to see any of it. We're just hearing all this.
Oh.
And then like 20 minutes later, he finally came out, and that's it.
Just of his own will?
Yeah. So
Just changed his mind.
yeah, well, after they gassed the room and turned the
blew
lights,
the door
and
up.
all the water off, and blew the door down, and
That's fair.
sent a robot with a phone.
3 times.
several. No, not 3 times. It was.
Oh.
I was there early that morning, and I didn't leave until like
Dang.
after my shift was even over. So like stayed there a long time.
Yikes.
So that was pretty crazy. I think we're running out of time unless you want to do a quick.
I'll do
give a
one more
quick
story. Just it's a little bit more lighthearted, and it paints me as an idiot. It was a Sunday. We had already gone for lunch drove all the way to ChickfilA before realizing it was closed, and then I walked to work afterwards because it's right next to ChickfilA. Went to work after we tried to eat lunch at ChickfilA, even though it was Sunday, it was closed. And then I got my dinner break for lunch, and I walked to ChickfilA. I'm not even kidding. I was like, I'm gonna go get a milkshake from ChickfilA on my break. So I walked to ChickfilA.
big stupid.
I walked to ChickfilA until I got basically to the parking lot and saw that there were no cars there and realized it. Had to turn around. I only have a 30-minute lunch break. I spent like 7 minutes of it walking to the Chick-fil-A. So I had to turn around, ran all the way back the opposite direction to go to a different restaurant because I forgot to bring food. And then that's it. I just tried to go to Chick-fil-A twice on a Sunday.
Nice. Okay, since you did a stupid you did a stupid there, I want to do a stupid really quick before we have to end this. So you've probably heard of it, Sheepdog Relief. Sheepdog is what they're like a
Yeah, I've seen the
military, like
brand.
a ex-military like relief team. They help and like after tornadoes they help clean up and stuff like that, and they do like service projects. They're I think they're all across the United States, but they're really cool. Well, I there's no sheepdog involved. There's like no actual dogs involved. I thought there
What
were
would the
for
dogs
long.
do?
I don't know what the dogs would do. Pick up sticks and I don't know. But for the longest time, I thought they had just they what their thing was that they cleaned up after storms and helped people using sheepdogs. So like, no, this is legit. We're going to interview.
Were you
this.
like, where's the dogs? Please
No.
tell me you asked an interview
Yes, we
question
did.
about dogs.
We get there, okay? And this guy, he's like ex-military. He's like a sergeant, okay? He's like 9 feet tall, no joke. He's like ripped, okay? We set up an interview. We get the light. Everything's like super serious, okay? And he's like standing there all serious, and we're all serious. And we're like asking him all these serious questions about, how the storms affect people and, all the other projects that they've been involved in. And then we get 5 minutes into the interview, and my reporter says, "So, where do you keep the dogs?"
Oh, what did he say? Please say you played it off as a joke or something.
We did not play
No.
The guy goes, he doesn't even smile.
He didn't
just-
laugh?
He
Oh,
did
no.
not laugh. He just goes, I actually get that a lot. There's no dogs. and we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, no. The sheepdog name is just, representative because like the attributes of a sheepdog are, he explained like why they named it sheepdog, and we were like,
Where do you keep the dogs?
because like we get there and legit we're like,
You didn't see any dogs.
we
though,
were
when you
very
got there.
excited about this story because we're like, oh, we're gonna get some cute videos of dogs. Like this is gonna be awesome. We'll get to play with dogs. This is gonna be a good day. And we get to this like,
You didn't notice that there were no dogs when you
and
got there?
their like headquarters is like attached to this hospital, and we're like, it's weird that they're gonna keep like I wonder if there's a separate building where they keep the dogs because they can't keep the dogs in this hospital building, and we legit get up there and ask this ex-Marine where he keeps his dogs.
Where do you keep the dogs? He probably thought you were making an innuendo.
He thought we were an idiot,
That's awful.
but that was funny, and that's it. I think
That is it.
That is it.
Ooh, yours was stupider than mine. I'm saying it now.
Okay, for the longest time I thought there were actual dogs involved. Okay. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to follow us, like us, subscribe to us on all the social medias.
Mm-hmm.
That goes for Facebook at Squabble Podcast,
Instagram.
at Squabble Podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, which is Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Wow, everywhere.
We are everywhere.
We
We're
are
always
everywhere.
watching. Stay tuned for those announcements we made because it's gonna be good stuff. And drink Mountain Dew Kickstarter.
Even though not a sponsor.
Not
And
a
go
sponsor.
check out our website at squabblepodcast.com. Did we already say that?
We didn't.
Oh, yeah.
We're also on just the internet.
Yes.
Yep.
That's about it, I
That is
suppose,
it.
folks. Don't ask a ex-Marine where he keeps his dogs, and we'll snap you later.
Yeah, we love you and we'll snap you later.